Okay, I was too lazy to update the description of the video. Face segment. Yeah, the plan here is the following. I've been typing this in the codex interface. And the idea is that we're going to replace Edge ID with Edge Index. I've just asked it to just look at it if that was possible. If it seemed possible. And then it said yes. And I thought that wasn't that trivial actually. But after yeah, I would say more intelligent analysis, I still think that it is correct to get rid of the Edge ID and just replace it with the Edge Index. So that's what I'm going to do. Could ask the AI, but I don't trust it really much, so I would rather do it myself. I use it a little bit for brainstorming, maybe, getting ideas. Let's see, the Edge ID. We can make it an Edge Index. Edge Index also only has an N. Yeah, because the one, it's an edge, or the one is known here. It's no kFaceIndex. And yeah, it should be a one-on-one replacement actually. And it should be all in this one file as well. So if I just replace Edge ID with Edge Index, then that should just compile. Doesn't. Edge Index is ambiguous. That's interesting. Candidate found by name lookup is math Edge Index, which is the one that we want. Oh, there is an Edge Index in detail here. Oh, that's the old Edge. I just did a rename. This is the old Edge ID. Yeah, we're not going to use this anymore then. I think by Edge Index also, I mean, we need two things apparently, undefined and less than. And well, we need to be able to construct it. That's probably going to fail. Yeah, printing is still possible. It will print it slightly different. We'll just print something completely not human readable anymore. Maybe I shouldn't use Edge Index. I think maybe I should use the kFace 1. That would print something that we can read, except that doesn't have a less than operator. But I could add it. It's also a bit larger. So just for debug output is kind of silly though. Nah, index is better. Because, well, I would like it to have it printed differently, but that's not guidance of what to do. It's just debug output. Let's just delete all this. So getting rid of the whole Edge ID thing. And next is the Face ID, but okay, not everything at once. Detail, there's no longer a detail, of course. So everywhere where I have a detail edge index, it should have been just edge index, because we're still in math. Oh, yeah, that's a construction, so that doesn't work. So now I need to be able to create an edge index from two corners. Well, what corners do I have? I have corner indexes. Rather, however, I would have one corner and an axis type. I think this mask here is basically my axis type. Yeah. Even worse, this is a double loop. I could just, or I want to just run over all edges. I think I should run over all edge indexes directly. And then I already have my edge index at this point, because that then is my loop variable. So what is this block of coding? Consider all edges along axis E. Run over all corners that have coordinate 0 for axis E. That is the 0 corner then. And then the mask E is basically the axis type. And I get that as a bit as well. No, not as a bit. I get coordinate of the 0 corner as a bit, and then just skip it if it isn't a 0. The corner on the opposite side along E, so that would be, yeah, well, but I'm not really using that, I think. I'm using it here. Oh, you have to test if that is on the opposite side. Yeah, I definitely do need both corner indexes then, but I can get that from an edge. So I can loop over all edge IDs and then just get the corner indices from that. Methinks. This thing needs a default constructor. I should still have that, I think. Edge index is a kFaceIndex. Can't find tag. gives me an undefined thing. Well, that should work. Okay. Yeah, that was the only place where the thing is being constructed. We can find that back here. It's the same error. I didn't change anything since the last compile error. I wanted to look at the diff actually. It removes edge ID and replace it with edge index. Okay, let's just commit that already. Okay, now let me see if we can change this double loop with something that runs over all edge indexes. What is C underscore? Doesn't even have a color. But I can jump to it. It's a vector with the corner indexes. It's a vector corner index. How lame is that? No, it's not. Sorry, it's not. Well, actually, it is. It's a vector. Yeah, vector type. Oh, it is because it's a hyperblock. Yeah. The actual coordinates of the corners, which don't necessarily have to be at 0 or 1 as coordinate. So if you have the index, then this gives you the real coordinates. And yeah, I can abuse that to run over them. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just type something that feels right, looks right, and then make that work. 4. So not corner index, but directly over all the edge indexes. And then probably can make it deduce the end. So edge ID is, and I'm in a hyperblock. Well, that should know, I suppose. So it's an index. I can't use I begin because yeah, what do you run over then? Have to run over begin of all edges. How do we do that? Like edge begin? That looks horrible. Just edge begin then maybe. It's not an ID anymore. It used to be an ID, now it's an index. I use CornerIndex CI, might as well do EI arrow edge then. And that until that is the edge end. So this this is what we dream up, as it were. That would be nice if we could run over all edge indexes like this. And the question now is, of course, well, do I need E? I do need this one. So having this, we have to create both corner indexes. Or get them, but what about the E? Do I need that? See, even local variables are annoying if they are this short, because it's hard to search for them. I can't search for you. Seriously. Okay, I can do better than that. Anything but A through Z or A to Z or 0 to 9 or underscore followed by E. No, let's type in E. And then again the same thing. Loads are in the comments. To mask, so mask E is one thing. And here I do a compare, and overall two faces that this edge is a part of. I don't know. That's a lot of E's in the comments, so yeah, it's used even more here. Oh my god, this was difficult stuff, and now it's all over the place. F minus E and F is less than E. Oh, E is totally needed, it seems, or I have to rewrite this whole thing. So in order to find the face ID or construct a face ID. Construct a unique ID for the current two-face. Suppose we don't find the two-face. Running over all edge IDs. That is this loop. And then local variable, continue if it doesn't work out. Construct something, again a continue. And here we have more local constructions. Current edge. That definitely is doing something. Okay, we make an edge here, an edge object that stored in edges by the edge ID. I was thinking maybe, well, I can still do that maybe. I was thinking maybe I can run over all two faces instead. And then, so if we run over all two faces, and then we can find all the edges that are part of the two face. Yeah. Shit. Yeah, maybe. I don't want to do that. This E. If it was a mask, we can do the same thing. Huh? So I have here mask E. And then if I convert this F to a mask, then we can still compare them equal. If you do F mask equals E mask, then F and E are equal. And here we have, switch that to E again. Oh, let's check if it is old or not. No, even worse. Oh yeah, this is how to determine if the order is type A or B. How would I get that from a mask then? The lesson would still work on a mask. That's not that easy. Yeah, I changed my mind. I think I can't really get rid of this E here unless I rewrite this, which would take me all day. And then maybe the code is twice as short and easier to understand and better, but it would still take me all day while this already works. So I don't think I should run over edge index. Doesn't really gain anything. It sucks a little bit though. Which means that we just need to be able to construct an edge index from, well, whatever we have. It still doesn't need to be very difficult. It was just an idea to run over the edge index directly. So the edge index is a kFaceIndex, and I can construct it from a kFace. I am sure, as in, yeah. Or simply directly from that. Oh, wait a minute, this constructs a zero corner. What was I constructing? Not a corner. I have to construct it from this, I think. Yeah, I'm constructing an edge or not a corner, so we have to use that. The kFace data. And then this thing can be constructed from that. These are the two corner indexes, okay. So I need an axis type and a zero corner. Might as well do that directly, I think. That was the whole plan all along when I designed the kFace data. This is a CornerIndex. Yeah, now so is this. CIE0. The e-axis then must be well, an axis type for the given E. It's super close to a mask. It's just a different type. The axis type. Axis type is bit set. And how can I construct a bit set? A bit set can be constructed from the index, for example. And that will be E itself. Or from a mask type, that would be mask E. That's probably the easiest thing then. So I have this type. Now the mask type is probably, well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will work, you know. Oh, it would have been very badly coded if it would work and if it would compile but not work, I mean. I wish you could cancel my subscription to Dive. They only have shitty music. And I paid for a whole year, damn it. Okay, let's try to pass, what was I saying? Mask, which one? This is the index, and but it isn't, it's an int, so let's pass this. And then hope that it works. Yeah, this is not going to work, but let's see what the compile error is. No match a constructor for initialization of edge index, aka kFaceIndex to 1. In instantiation of requested here. Candidate constructor and plus the copy constructor, candidate constructor plus the move constructor, candidate constructor. Not viable. Cannot convert initialize the list argument. Const kface data 2. Oh, 2, sorry. And why not? Because it wants a kface data. Candidate constructor not viable. Constraints not satisfied. Oh, that's another one. Oh, was I trying to use this one? No, that was also the fixed bit. It's also a corner. I'm trying to use this one, but it doesn't understand that I want to use the converter thing to a kface data. And it doesn't understand that because I'm not passing an access type. Instead, I'm passing something that can be used to construct an access type, but it's a little bit too far-fetched. So probably I could do access type here, and then it should know that what I want, understand what I want, provided that it knows what access type is here. And where are we at the moment? I think in a hyperblock. Oh, hyperblock knows what the access type is. I can just type access type there. This is hyperblock. Where's my access type? Don't tell me I don't have access type here. Seriously. Ridiculous. Still can't believe it. No access type. Oh, I can just put kface data in front of it. Ah, might as well tell it that I want to construct a kface data then, or not. Should that work? Either that or this. Let's tell it that I want to use a kface data. Nope. Okay, then we do it like this. This is inside a template. Do I really have to type name in front of this? No, it's warning about narrowing. Starts to feel a little bit stupid, I must say. I mean, type 70 is one thing, but I don't want to have to jump through this many hoops. Why is this so problematic? I think it's problematic because I just don't have the right types to begin with. So I'm working here with a size type, but it represents an axis. So I should have used an axis type. And if I do that, surely we can do this. I need an end. Actually, I just need to test if it is. The bit E is only used here. So I'm only doing this to test if that axis is set or not in CE. So I need to test if CornerIndex has an axis type, a single axis in the axis type set or not. Where CornerIndex is a face index. Which is a vector index. Yeah, okay. I think that going back to size type is easier than going the other way here. So let's try to construct an axis type here. And that's, why is that even defined here? I would like to do something like this, I suppose. No, that worked. I can't believe that worked. Of course that did not work. So I want that thing to be called. In the end I need a mask. So I need to pass an index. And the index is bitSetIndex, which is the index of the bitsets. But that can be constructed only from an index POD. This is how you run over an index. I finally added a comment for that. I kept forgetting that. You have to give the right type from the beginning. This runs over all indexes which can be used. I mean, yeah, I would rather do something else, but now at least we have the E, which was necessary more or less without having to rewrite everything. Then I can use that to construct the E-axis. Oh boy, I need edge here. I already have an edge. This is not really an edge, however. Well, it's an edge where there is an intersection point. I'm going to rename this to node, I think. I have a lot of edge indexes. Is that the only thing I have? Anything but those are just edges. Actually, that means what? What the fuck, dude? Oh, you have to repeat every bloody thing. It was already repeated. What? Oh, index is not defined here. Excusez-moi, I meant the index of the access type. You have to put type name in front of this as well, because I mean, what else can it be than type if you do it like that? Yeah, it's not the right way. Not an automatic thing. It's also, I don't like that as well. I don't know. Damn it. What is this? The zero corner minus the F bit, or reset the F bit on the zero corner, and then we want to know how many bits are set. Fix the mask, fix the bits. Seriously? Bloody hell, yeah, that's what it was called. Can't call that edge index. Well, I can, but no, I should not use index here. Let's call it the axis. using the wrong finger, I think. Wait, I'm type C. Face. Yeah, C. No, that was a C. Yeah. That finger. Yeah. Axis. Right. Yeah, that didn't help anything, of course. Still same compile error. Or not, because I typed edge index here. Okay, I think I got rid of Edge ID now, but now we also have to get rid of Face ID. And I can't even compile this until I did. Unless I temporarily change Face ID. This might not be a bad idea. To accept whatever the type of edge axis is. Those are indexes. Those are indexes. Yeah, let's just pause. Just pause this. No. Poo poo. Okay, that's something else I have to fix. I put these values exactly at the point where it asserts, but as good of a test as anything. Let me see. Face ID. It's also straightforward. The amount of changes that I had to make. Yeah, we call that straightforward. Trivial even, I think. Inside hyperblock intersection points, the essential structure is still for each axis and each base corner. with that axis. So wait for each axis and each, yeah, I don't like this. I started to call that zero corner, but I already saw that somewhere it's called base. I think it picked that up from the code where it is still called base. The zero corner is of all the corners of the given kface. With well, all the corners that are all the axes that are varying. I mean, if you have a kface, you have k-axis that are, you know, defining all the axes along which that kface is living. If you put all those coordinates at 0, then that's what I call the zero corner. You could see that you could say for each zero corner of all edges, basically. But it's not really just a zero corner. I first find the zero corner and then the one corner, as it were, one edge, and then see if that crosses the hyperplane. Computer intersection point. For each such edge, for each two-face it belongs to, decide whether this intersection is the entry or exit edge for that face and record that in face segments. Run the breadth first search over edges / nodes following entry face to exit face links to order the intersection points. Your refactor uses CornerIndex everywhere for corners from math kface. With the new kFaceIndex constructor. So all the previous unchanged. Replace the standard map edge ID with that. Yeah, obviously edge ID was replaced with edge index. I think it barfed here. Or I replaced edge with node. Where edge index is constructed as, okay, yeah, well, okay, never mind. I thought it's edge referred to, but this is how it is constructed. Yeah, that's still, well, it's vaguely, okay, yeah, okay. That's, I get my access type from, no, I'm not using access T. Pretty sure I'm not using access T. Suddenly switch to access T instead of access type. Man, I had a feeling that if I look at this again in a few months or in a year or whatever, I will not be able to understand it anymore. I'm not having enough comments and stuff. And I think that because the AI thought it necessary to add these comments. And I was like, I don't have those comments. What will happen if I look at this code in a few months or something? I probably have no idea what's going on. This accurately encodes edge along axis, edge axis, 0 corner index 0. That's nonsense. It is double bad, this, really. So I'm asking it to check my changes for bugs, and then it says, well, apparently it thinks that maybe the order has changed, which would be horrible. That is a very significant change. I don't think that is the case, but okay. If it assumes that the order has changed, and therefore we take a different first entry, so the first edge. So we have a bunch of edges which form a cycle. So it doesn't matter where you start, you get the same cycle. That's what it says here. Just rotate it if you start at a different point. And then it said, well, that would be horrible, right? I mean, in my eyes. That would be horrible. Just don't step over it. Anyway, and then it says, the only external user with strict expectations is that. That is really bad. I mean, yes, right now there is exactly one test program that is using this code. And then it says, well, there is only one program using it. And that program doesn't care about this bug, that the order is different. What about future programs, Mr. AI? You can't say, well, the bug is okay because there is currently only one small test program. that won't be influenced by it. That's still a bug. And then it goes on, which only assumes that there are two intersection points and then disambiguates them by dot product sign. That is totally also not true. It's totally going to crash if the order is wrong. So this is not true that it still works. I fire this AI. At least I don't pay it. Well, actually, I'm paying it. Well, I'm paying OpenAI for this. Well, not that much. Given that the numeric corner operations are unchanged. In 3x classification per two-phase is algebraically equivalent. I don't see any behavioral bug introduced by switching from blah blah, especially blah blah blah. Replacing Face ID with kFaceIndex and Chew. So this is the one. I should rename this, so I'm going to delete that thing, but it should be called zero corner. That is the corner of the face with both bits 0, so that's the zero corner. Clear, it says. Oh yeah, that's a nice line. I'll use that. And we have the corner index, I guess. Can't call this k-axis though. It's k is 2. Why would I call it k-axis when k is known? Current edge storm, blah 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 blah. I can't even follow this. I think I'm gonna create the code and then make that change. Edge index encodes one phases, face index encodes two phases. No thanks. I can waste 2 hours of your time. Well, so enough. Okay, yeah, so I want to get rid of Face ID. Not just get rid of it, I want to replace it with, it's very much like Edge ID. We have a constructor, and the only thing that we then use it for is comparison. But I doubt that the order here is even a little bit interesting, as long as it is ordered, so you can put it in a set or something probably used as a key in the set. And yeah, it should be aware of whatever is needed to be aware of which two-phase it is. Which obviously is also contained in the face index. Yep, it's used as a key for set. Twice even. This is called to store it in that set. This is to get it back. And here we pass it. I think I can just start replacing everything. Map, okay, it's also used as a key in a map. Same thing, I guess. No. Here we obtain the thing. And then we find it in the map. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's do it. I'm just starting with deleting all this. Delete. To mask can probably also be deleted. No, it's needed for that. This might be removed though, I don't know. It's a different function. What function is this? Section points. Yeah, well, that is what I'm working on, but well, it fills the side thing. Okay, well, let's not touch that then. Face ID. FaceIndex. I'm going to just replace it with FaceIndex, 2. kFaceIndex. Ah, it's a constructor again. That gave me the enormous headache last time as well. That it should be also be the only constructor. So let's try to comment this out and see if it then compiles. Looks like it's. Yeah, so this should also be constructed from an kFace data, aka something like that, and which in turn is constructed from the k-axis, okay, these two axes, and the 0 corner. I think that's it. Index. What? Yeah, I need the E. I need need actual axis. I call them axis, but it's not an axis type. These are the axis types. Okay. I guess the tesseract still crashes the same way. Tesseract. Yep. Yeah, sure. Right. Sure that turns out to be not the case, or what? Yeah. Big changes ahead. There's a lot more that needs to be changed. But. Phew. Why is it saying this? Because it's not very useful at all. The intersection points. To use that for this. So you're wasting my time then by mentioning it. Well. Driving two-face edge. Oops. just a piece of shitty code that should be eradicated in a totally different way than what it is doing now. It's not even eradicating it, it's just rewriting it a little bit. Or looks like just indentation changes. Yeah. It should never remove stuff that is commented out. I need to add that somewhere. don't need to explain that. Are you kidding me? I thought I was using indexes all over the place. No, it's indices. Unupgradable edge. Build a mapping. This code is wrong. And considerably larger, actually. What was it? Moving this? No, that's still here. Nah. That isn't more readable at all. And it's wrong, which is even more concerning. Still wrong. There we go. but yeah, you know. I think I'm gonna quit here. Stop.